Just because it might take a second to connect. But, yes, who
Go
are
ahead.
you?
I'm Mike Headley. I'm the Executive Director with the South Dakota Science and Technology Authority and also the Lab Director here at SURF. So we're on the 50-foot level underground here at SURF, and we
Almost
came
a mile underground.
exactly, almost a mile underground, but still surprisingly a couple hundred feet above sea level, which is a little mind-blowing to think about, coming a mile down and you're still above sea level.
And we have great Wi-Fi.
We do. We have fabulous Wi-Fi. So we came down the Ross shaft, which is located about 1 kilometer from where we're at right now. So we got in a cage up on the surface that was about 5 feet wide and 13 feet long. There were, a dozen or so of us that we came down the shaft at about 500 feet a minute, which took about 10 minutes. And then we walked through a construction area for a large neutrino experiment that we're building called the Deep Underground Neutrino Experiment. So I got to see a little bit of that, and then we got on to some rail cars and then came over to the Davis campus, named after Dr. Ray Davis, who did work here studying neutrinos from the sun starting back in the mid-1960s and actually won a Nobel Prize for his work here in 2002.
Excellent. And let me just show behind us is the rest of our group. And what do you call, what is this mid area that we're in?
This is the common corridor, and so really by coming down this corridor you can access the various lab spaces that we have, and as you can see it also is a work area for the scientists when they're not actually in the lab. They can come out here. This is where they have lunch, so we have a refrigerator, we have espresso, and so pizza espresso all the way from California.
Nice.
We always like to say that great science is built on two things: great Wi-Fi and amazing coffee.
Excellent.
So.
You know what? Just I'm gonna make sure my lens is clear there. And here, sorry, excuse me. We're actually live, but
oh, we are.
Later I can edit
okay.
this. And I will. So excuse me. So now, what's in here? The Davis Cavern?
The Davis Cavern. This is where Dr. Davis did his work, and it's been the home since we restarted the work in the lab here in 2008. It has been the home for our two main dark matter experiments, and currently we have the Lux Zeppelin dark matter experiment, which is the world's leading dark matter experiment, the most sensitive dark matter target in the world. And so why don't we go on in and we can walk around a little bit and show you some of the equipment.
I know this was a little dedication to Dr. Davis.
Oh yes, right here. So this is actually a piece of the tank, the large tank that Dr. Davis used for his his neutrino experiment. It held 100,000 gallons of dry cleaning fluid that using to detect neutrinos. And a couple of years ago, we were recognized by the APS, the American Physical Society, for this location and the historic significance of the work that Ray Davis did in figuring out how neutrinos operate. So we had a dedication here a couple of years ago, had all of Dr. Davis's kids and their spouses here to celebrate it here underground.
So, as you mentioned, the Dune experiment is the facility is being constructed.
It is.
I mean, mining is still being done before the facility is even built, and it's like 6 years out or so before that'll be active. But there are these other active experiments that have been here for a few years.
Yeah, we actually have over 30 different experiment groups that we're working with. Some are large. The LZ experiment has about 250 collaborators. It's one of the bigger groups that we work with. 30 institutions. A number of them are non-U.S. And so this is the home of the experiment. You can see in front of us. Maybe we can come over here.
Oh yeah, what's down here?
So that's actually the 70,000 gallon water tank where the detector is located inside. So it's a water shield. And here we're seeing a lot of the equipment for managing and the care and feeding of cryogenic fluids. The LZ experiment has, the main target is liquid xenon. And so there are 10 metric tons of liquid xenon that are located in the detector and kept obviously very cold to make it to make it into a liquid and keep it that way and purify it. And we use nitrogen as the cooling system to cool the xenon. So we'll come up here. There's the LZ experimenters are doing some maintenance work here, and they're in a new science run, as they like to say it. So they finished a short science run about a year ago, a little over a year ago, and released results showing that they are the most sensitive dark matter experiment. They haven't found dark matter yet, but they're doing it better than anyone else in achieving a sensitivity that hopefully they'll be able to actually figure out what dark matter is all about, the stuff that makes up about 80% of the mass in the universe.
No, you're not a scientist, but you're in this very interesting research facility.
Right.
Tell me about, what do you like about it in your perspective as a non-scientist? I'm not a scientist either.
It's, operating a facility like this deep underground, we're fully responsible for operating it and maintaining it, so that and so there's a huge safety component. Obviously, working deep underground, we have a really extensive safety program, not only for the operation of the facility, but the experiment side as well. So there's a lot of things that have to be done to make sure that we can operate safely. And obviously, the complicated hardware and everything, all the engineering and the science that goes into building these experiments is really fascinating. And doing this work so deep underground, there's just so many aspects to it that are really super interesting.
Yeah, very cool. Well, I know we can't see everything, and we have a radio show to do. But what's your favorite part coming down here?
Just the scale of this. This is a huge facility. It was, one of the largest gold mines when it was an active gold mine, and the scale of not only the area that we're in now, but and we won't be able to see these from the broadcast, but the caverns that we're building for the LBNF Dune experiment are massive. They're 475 feet long, 90 feet tall, and 65 feet wide, and there's 2 of those that will host 4 big neutrino experiments. It'll be really the largest science experiment ever attempted on U.S. soil. So there's a lot to be excited about.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
How many people work down here already?
In general, we have about 100 people who are coming underground on a daily basis. In total, in total we have about 400 staff. 200 work on our team in the maintenance and operation of the facility. And then scientists and the construction that we talked about for the LBNF Dune experiment, roughly about 400 people who are working here, full-time people.
Excellent. Well, thank you very much.
All right, yeah, my pleasure.